Mr. President, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act will keep over $700 million per year in Montanans' pockets. Now, that's not a number that I calculated. It came right from the Montana Department of Revenue. And that is just for the individuals in Montana. $700 million is going to be moved from Washington, D.C. back to the people of Montana. And I can tell you something, hardworking Montanans could use a pay raise. In fact, in Montana, we have some of the lowest per capita wages in the nation. Now, contrast that with what's going on in Washington, D.C. In fact, if you Google wealthiest counties in the USA, I challenge you to do that. Take your smartphone, Google wealthiest counties in the USA. Look at what you'll find. The top 3 wealthiest counties in America are suburbs of Washington, D.C. In fact, 6 out of 10 of those counties are suburbs, counties adjacent to Washington, D.C. Montanans don't need to send an additional $700 million of their money back to Washington, D.C. In fact, according to the Montana Department of Revenue, nearly 99% of Montanans will see a tax cut under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. On average, Montanans will keep approximately $1,600 of their hard-earned money each year. Moreover, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act repeals once and for all Obamacare's poverty tax, the so-called individual mandate. This tax has systematically penalized the low income for not being able to afford health insurance. Frankly, repealing this tax is one of the most compassionate things that we could do as part of this legislation. Now, adding insult to injury, when you peel back what's going on with this poverty tax, 42% of those paying that poverty tax, that Obamacare mandate tax, make less than $25,000 a year. In fact, 82% of the penalty payers paying this tax make less than $50,000 a year. Repealing this tax is the right thing to do. And at the end of the day, the question here is pretty simple. Who deserves more money? Who deserves more control? Is it right here in Washington, D.C., or is it the American people? Is it the people of Montana? I think the answer to that question is pretty easy. I believe Montanans do. So I'll be voting for hardworking Montana families so they can keep more of their own money. As we debate what we should do with the cash here in Washington, D.C., whose money is it anyway? It came from the people of this country. It came from the people of Montana. I'll be voting for Montana Main Street businesses, for the hardworking middle class of Montana, so we can grow wages, some of the lowest in the nation, and grow jobs. I'll be voting to return some of Montanans' hard-earned money back to the people that sent it here in the first place. Mr. President, I yield back my time.